JLP rebuttal.
Lies, lies, lies. It cannot be done without imposing new taxes on the backs of Jamaicans.
Social media person. We have CT scans, we have MRIs. In fact, we have more digital machines in our health system than any time before. We need more, but we have done better than the PNP.
Turned down. The truth of the matter is, it was a set hand. In the Integrity Commission report, there were clear red flags for money laundering.
They took a wrecking ball to our economy, and that's a fact. When we took office 9 years ago, we saw high unemployment. We saw high...
Implementing the 3.5 threshold starting April 2026. This will be funded from revenue.
Ensure that we revisit the loan processes for our MSMEs. We recognize...
For Team PNP, Julian Robinson. For the JLP, Favour Williams. For the PNP, Keisha Anderson. And for the JLP, Chris Tufton. And for the PNP, Peter Bunting.
As to the who win. Is that the right thing to say? Who win? People like to say who win. PNP win, JLP win. What would you say?
Yes, I would. Based on what we just experienced while watching this. And again, Silborn, thank you for the invitation. Yes. And of course, to all viewers and those who will be watching this on the playback, give thanks for your interest in Jamaican politics and for allowing your mind to be open to hear different perspectives. In terms of pound for pound, if this was using a fight analogy, I would say that dealing with issues that relate to me as a Jamaican, I felt as though the PNP addressed my concerns in this particular debate a tad better than the JLP did. For example, Julian Robinson was able to deal with issues head on. He had the facts. He came across very charismatic and he was relatable.
Very passionate at the same time. You could see a genuinity there. Yes,
indeed, right. And the reality is, Silborn, optics matter, body language matters.
Yes,
making it relatable, taking rather complex issues and making them relatable to me without patronizing my intelligence. This is where I know, based on tonight, that the PNP were able to make it more relatable to me. There was a lack of confidence on the side of the JLP with regards to Favour Williams' clear inability to portray the facts. She has them,
yes,
but came across not as strong, for example, as Julian Robinson did. And this is not a gender thing either, not even a style thing. It's simply a matter of the lack of making it relatable to me. The clashes between Dana and her with regards to policies, and 2 occasions when I mentioned where they were on opposite sides of the fence, so to speak.
And they're on the same side.
But you're on the same side. But you're on the same side. That for me, as an observer, using intelligence, I saw the inconsistencies there. And so there was no point where the PNP broke ranks or clashed with each other. They held the party line all the way through, and they worked better as a team. There were moments, for example, there's a moment when Favour Williams, she answered the question, and then she physically turned over to Tufton as though it's a finance question. I've answered, but you carry it through. And that physical turning for me, the optics never looked good.
Yes.
And so this is why, in terms of purely on this debate, no other, It doesn't reflect anything to do with the election either. On this debate, if there was a winner, in my view, for those reasons, it would be the PNP side.
Okay, fair enough. And ladies and gentlemen, you can give your views, and we're going to wrap up very shortly. As personally speaking, and upon looking at it, the last time I could say very clearly it was a definite win for the PNP, as you can see that Matthew Samuda rose to the ranks and stood up. But at the same time, one thing I didn't say at the last time, one of the reasons why Mr. Samuda was given the headlight was because the others were dark. And therefore, sometimes you're in a classroom and sometimes someone look very bright, but actually because the others are dunce. I'm sorry to make it a bit very brutal like that. And that is where I believe that Mr. Samuda came up very strong, because the lights were dim on the others. In tonight, for argument's sake, you could there was a lack of cohesiveness with the JLP team. There's a lack of cohesiveness. They were awashed with information, and they should be awashed with information for 9 years. And someone said 2016 they started. Nevertheless, still, in regards to Mr. Tufton, I believe they brought him in, I think they brought him in a way because he could be a possible leader. So therefore, he's one of a senior guy. I'd want to give it to an edge over to the PNP. And one of the reasons why as well is that I listened and I asked the question, who is actually talking to me? Who is actually talking to the people? Exactly. Who is talking to me? Who is trying to reach out to me? That's the bottom line. Yeah. And I believe that especially Julian Robinson came out very, came across very passionate and very sure of what he was saying. And you could see he could go scriptless, if anything, because his heart in the whole thing. Keisha Anderson, she seemed like a new kid on the block. I call her a rising star, like how I call Sophie Fraser-Binns a rising star, because I think they position those persons strategically in a way. Yes. And you can see that she's a people's person.
Yeah, both have bright futures in the party.
Yeah. Bunting has been there for a long time, and I'm not going to say that Bunting did, strike a very strong chord, but he played the good wingman.
And I think for comrades who were familiar with him, for example, when he was Minister of National Security and so on, and for that aspect of the PNP, he speaks to that old guard.
Yes.
Right? Keisha was able to look at the youth, the under 30s, to bring that vote in.
Yeah.
And Julian Robinson was able to balance the fiscal policy with relatability. And in that regard, it was a really effective tag team.
Yes, definitely. And as for what's the lady name? She is
Dr. Dana Marston.
I've watched her since she came on board, and I've watched her right through. And somehow, Malik, I sense she's just doing it because it's a job. I don't sense that passionately she even believes sometimes what she's actually saying. I think she's a nice person.
Well, the thing is, the mere fact that she had the nerve, I dare say, challenge Favour Williams in that way, your fellow team member, it didn't speak very well to a particular way of thinking.
Yeah.
And in terms of with politics, sadly, it is less about policy and more about personality.
Yes.
And I didn't feel her at all. It was more like an AI generated response to stuff.
Yes.
That doesn't bode well in dealing with the Jamaican public. However, the issue here, being fair to the JLP and to the PNP and looking at the debate overall, the under 30 vote right now, you have many persons who, if you're under 30, you came of age under a JLP administration.
Yes.
So the razzmatazz of the clerks wearing relatability, the various, I saw where Massacre cut a dub plate recently for the JLP as well, right? On the PNP side, we know that the unruly man himself, Mr. Popcorn, is clearly a supporter. And Beanie Man was on the stage recently. This use of celebrity as well and popularity is something that, as I mentioned, it is less about policy and more about personality. And this is where it is still a very, very tight race. There's no guarantee either way. But based on tonight, I concur, the PNP at the edge. But who knows what will happen in 2 days' time?
Well, the big beast, the beast are on the 28th. Well, for us is 1 day time, isn't it?
Indeed.
yeah, that is Dr. Andrew Holness and Mark Golden will be dealing with all the different loose ends now, and to bring it home,
That's right.
bring the bacon home, if anything like that.
That's right.
You can applaud. All right.